are a bridge, the Eisen Bridge. You have entertainers that want to be athletes, and you have athletes that love entertainers, and you bring them together, man.
The 3-time Emmy-nominated Rich Eisen Show.
You do it so seamlessly, it's not even funny. Definitely looking forward to you doing it on the new network.
Rich Eisen, weekdays 11 to 2, right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WFLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
I'm sick and tired of carrying all the weight.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action. Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
The product on the field is pathetic.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Time it is. It's Wednesday here at the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you joined us on this hump day in PCB. I'm excited. I'm a little bit thrown back a little bit. As always, with me on Wednesdays, I've got Tennessee Brandon in the house. How you doing, Brandon?
Man, I'm doing great. How about you, man?
And I'm doing pretty good. I'm not doing great, but I'm doing pretty good.
It's been a rough last couple of days for you, right?
It's been pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then to my right, who's always here on Wednesdays as well, Jeff. I don't know what we're going to call him today because he's wearing an orange shirt, so I'm kind of in between two orange shirts today, and it's kind of confusing. So, Jeff, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good, you know?
I mean,
other than Syracuse, all the orange teams keep on winning, you know? The Gators, the Hurricanes, Tennessee, you know?
Yeah, so shall we call you Winter Jeff today?
Winter Jeff.
I mean, I guess that's
Citrus Jeff? I don't know.
Citrus Jeff, Orange Jeff, Winter Jeff. I mean, Key Largo.
You know,
Jeff.
what was that Will Ferrell movie where he says, I just bleed excellence or I just keep on winning or something like that?
Yeah,
what did he say?
I think Talladega Nights or something like
Nights,
that. Yeah. Oh, gosh. So
that's
we're
what
going to
do,
that.
you know? But you remain a Bama fan because you're loyal even when your ship is sinking.
It's not sinking. It just had a problem in the first. You know, the problems that Alabama fans have is that, you know, for us good fans out there, we've never been the type to talk the smack.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But there are some Bama fans that talk a lot of smack, and so I guess us Bama fans that don't talk the smack get kind of the, you know, pulled into all the stuff. So, you know, this was on my desk today, and I'm not sure who exactly put that on, but I don't know which camera we're going to look at, Bone Crusher, but if you could just dial this in just so everybody can see it. I don't know where we are. Which camera are we going to be at, Bone Crusher? You got to let me know something. All right, so
on the camera one now.
All right, so here we go, and I'm holding it still. So this is a kind of abuse that I get for everyone that's here, so they just kind of mess with me. So we'll leave that here for everybody's entertainment. But let's don't forget where we come from on this whole Alabama thing. So if you want to, Bone Crusher, you can move camera number 1 and put it back to the center of my chest, and everybody can get a little load of that. I'm hoping that he can put it on there. Can you see it or no? Can you see it?
Is that the old LSU coach?
No, that's the Alabama coach holding up the rings.
I thought that was Nick
It's
Saban.
so awesome seeing stuff like that, only because, like, for so long I was told as a Tennessee fan that we're living in the past. We're just holding on to, you know, the good times, and this just reminds me of this Alabama fan just hanging on to the good times because the rough times
2 years ago
are coming.
You know what's crazy? I went to a Mardi Gras ball one time in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wearing the same crown with the purple gems and all that.
Were you?
Yeah, it's a Mardi Gras ball. I was all dressed in purple and all that. Yeah.
Really?
It was a really good time.
Yeah, it was over there at the Civic Center, wasn't it?
It was. It
Yep.
was. It was October a year and a half ago. Well, almost Almost 2 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, so they've torn that place down. It no longer exists.
Wow.
So that big civic center there in Mobile, Alabama is 100% gone.
Well, Brandon missed yesterday's show. He was listening to it and all that. But what he doesn't know is that yesterday we were in here and I collected something while we were on the air and everything. And what it is, it's a bunch of tears.
Oh.
Yeah, I collected
awesome.
Alabama tears yesterday because Paul was crying most of the show.
Yeah.
And he collected,
Roll tears, roll.
The tears,
Well, I guess you can put this over here as well, I guess, so everybody can see the tears that fell. And there might be some today because we still got to talk about the game a little bit with Brandon because he wasn't here. But, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you are so good for so long and then finally when everybody gets what they want and
everybody wants you just to fail.
Yeah, when everybody wants you to fail, when everybody wants you to do bad, and you finally do bad. It's one of those things where you just have to be a man and take it some. So it's not one of those things that I'm looking forward to. Now, I will be honest with both of you whenever I talk about this because it's something that. It's just inevitable. Every time anybody follows a legend, it always never stays the same. Obviously, it's going to change. And, that's the thing. I knew one day, because obviously Nick Saban's not a vampire. He's not staying at Alabama forever. I knew that was coming. And when he left, or when he was about to leave, or when I was thinking that he was going to leave, because I thought he had 1 year left before he left. And so I thought he was going to be gone. And so whenever you start thinking about that, man, you relish on the fact that, where you came from, but that it's going to be a rough road ahead, and you hope that it wouldn't. And as painful as this sounds, this is going to be something that's so painful for me, not because of Alabama, but because of who I'm going to talk about. And we have our reasonings behind it. It's something that and this is crazy because I was driving here today and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the show. I was thinking about some of the things that we had talked about on the schedule. And there's always the drop off, but not every time. And the reason why I say that is because there's really only one team that in the last 20 years, if you look at their record, if you look at them and look and see what they've done, there's one team. They haven't won the championships, but what I'm saying is there hasn't been a drop-off in their win-loss record, and that being the school from up north, Ohio State. And they've done the best at replacing their coaches with coaches that still know how to win. Now, we all can agree that the Big Ten, for the longest time in those 20 years, was a bunch of trash junk, obviously, with all of the teams that they had to play, because Penn State hasn't always been good. They were bad whenever Bill O'Brien took over the program when they were having all this stuff going on. Oregon wasn't even a part of the Big Ten. And then also, if you look at it, you had Michigan, who was on the back end of having terrible coaching, from Brady Hoke to Carr to those guys. So they were going through a plethora of bad coaching, or when I say bad coaching, just bad times. Michigan State was doing pretty good. They were making bowls. They were winning games, but they wasn't that good. Maryland wasn't any good. Rutgers wasn't any good. Minnesota wasn't any good. Purdue, Indiana,
Illinois.
Iowa, Illinois.
Wisconsin, okay.
Wisconsin was okay.
Minnesota, trash.
Minnesota, not good. But when Wisconsin went the other way was after their better coach left, Bielema, who's at Illinois now. Illinois. And so when you look at the teams that have looked good over the time of 20 years, us being 16 years with Coach Saban, Ohio State has been the only team that's had a good record, and being in a weaker conference, that's allowed that to continue and to happen, even though during the mindset of going from Tressel to Urban Meyer, from Urban Meyer to Luke Fickell, the Fickell year was the catastrophe where it went straight out the bottom. They lost maybe 5-6 games that year. I'm thinking terrible, but that's something that I really want, and I hope that if anybody in the Alabama organization is listening to or watching, is the fact that whenever Luke Fickell, he became the interim and they had an opportunity, he basically was trying out for the job. He was a local guy. He played for the Buckeyes. He was a fan favorite. People loved him. But I was living in Columbus at this time, and as they started to lose, you could feel the shift. Nobody wanted it. And that's where I want for Alabama to focus. I'm okay with going through a tough time, but I'm not okay with staying with the tough time because we have to or because we want to give him a shot. You've got 5 stars on the field in your locker room. You've got definite. I know they've come out today and said that the NIL money was low. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if we can back that up or not, so I'm not going to use that. But when you look at all of this, you've got 5 stars, you've got money, you've got people want to go there. They're still top notch. We're signing 5 stars. The fan base is electric. The stadium, they've renovated. They've done new stuff to it. You've got all of the national hype, all of the attention coming to you. You've got the hotbeds from Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Tennessee that want to come to Alabama, that want to wear the A on their chest. But are you going to stick with somebody because you have an ego because you pick somebody that just didn't work out? See, that's what Ohio State said. You know what? We're going to give Luke Fickell a shot. He's a local boy. He's our hometown boy. He's not from there, but he played there. He was an alumni. Let's see what he can do. And he doesn't do the job. They get rid of him. They get Ryan Day, and it happens. He's doing good. Look at what they did. Look at what they did. Up until last year, Ryan Day was on the hot seat in Ohio. Not nationally, but in Ohio. The fans, they were talking about him. The fans always was wanting him to go because of what? Losses. Losses to who? Michigan. And you can say what you want. Times have changed. Things have changed. College football playoffs have changed. We'll talk about this later. I want to see what you guys think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But when you look at it, Michigan beating Ohio State fans, as much as they hate to lose to Michigan, but if you tell me that we can win all of our other games, or if we can make the playoffs and win the national title, but we have to lose to Michigan every year, they're going to take that L and they're going to be okay with it because they're going to be able to come back and say, you beat us, but we're the national champions. And that's the thing about the way college football is moving towards, because they're taking away some of the rivalry games now. They're not going to be there, especially in the SEC when we go to the 9-game schedule. But when you look at it, that's realistically what I'm wanting Alabama to do, is kind of take a play out of the playbook of Ohio State. If he doesn't work out, if they lose another game in September, which is going to be probably Georgia, they've got Wisconsin, they've got Georgia, and then realistically, when you get to October, that's when the rubber meets the road. You've got an LSU team that you've got to play. You've got a Tennessee team that you've got to play. Don't forget, you got to go to Missouri. Don't forget, you got Vanderbilt still on the schedule.
You got to handle Vanderbilt at home.
And you think about it, and I said this yesterday. You wasn't here, but I said this yesterday. The saying was going into the season, there's no possible way Alabama loses to Oklahoma. There's no possible way that Alabama loses to Vanderbilt because of how we lost last year. Well, that's not the case anymore, seeing what product they put on the field on Saturday. And so when we look at all of these things that I'm talking about, and obviously I know we've gone really heavy into Alabama right off the bat. It was y'all's fault. Y'all messed with me right off the bat, so it's your fault. But when you look at it, we've got to get to the place where we can say, we made a bad hire, we're finding somebody else. And at the end of the show, if we have time, we're going to look at who is on the list. Who's the odds maker of the Alabama football coach? Because, guys, I'm just telling you right now, I've seen Alabama football for all my life that I've been able to watch football. And what I saw on Saturday, I don't remember as a kid as much as, just the X's and O's of seeing people catch balls, drop balls, run touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I haven't never seen an Alabama team since I've been an adult that didn't seem like they were interested in playing football.
So do you know what Kalen DeBoer's buyout is right now?
$70 million.
And it's $70 million. And do you know it is the second largest in the nation at this current time?
Who's
buyout.
first?
I couldn't tell you who's first. I just know he is the second largest. So there's a difference between the tryout with the Ohio State coach and your opposed tryout with Kalen DeBoer is, you said in the beginning, and you don't know if it's allegedly true, but if Alabama's struggling with money, you think they're just going to be able to buy Kalen DeBoer out for $70 million, hire another $100 million coach to replace him? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So how far do you have to ride this ship if it is sinking? Like, are you going to have to ride out this year? So his buyout may drop from 70 to a potential in the 40s or something like that, where you're able to get a little more. It's more like a salary cap in the college. You got to pay the players. So not only have to pay the coach, you have to pay the players too. So I don't think
you can't lose recruits.
Yeah, you can't lose recruits. And say you start firing a coach in the middle of the season. I mean, how many kids jump ship? I mean, you're in turmoil. If you do that, do you really want to involve yourself in a university that's going through that?
They're not going to fire him in the middle of the season unless, you lose to Georgia. Georgia's a good team, right?
Right.
Okay. If you lose at Missouri, the writing's going to be on the wall. Well, the only way that they're going to fire their coach is if they lose at Missouri and then followed up with the loss against Tennessee. Because of the 4 losses, that's it. You're done.
Well, I don't necessarily think in this NIL world that it's necessarily the university's decision. I mean, think about
you think the boosters are controlling
boosters.
it?
Think about the money coming in.
I don't know, man.
Mean, there are so
when
many private donations.
Everybody turns. What's your salvation if you lose at Missouri and then lose to Tennessee? You win at home against LSU? I mean, you're hoping you do that at that point, because if you got 4 losses, you're done in the SEC. You're done out of the playoffs this year.
If you got your top couple of boosters wanting the head coach out, they're going to have to be gone, or they're going to leave. These days in the NIL world, you cannot live without your boosters. You've got to have
Now,
that.
let me argue one thing that you said, though, and I don't want to say it didn't hurt my pride or anything like that, because we've had some 6-loss seasons. LSU has.
Right.
But the last 3 coaches were Nick Saban, national title in 2003, Les Miles, national title in 2007, and Coach O, national title in 2019. We've had 3 consecutive coaches win national titles. We've had bad years, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But they weren't losing years.
Right. Well, the last year with Coach O, was that a loss year when he lost at Kentucky?
I believe we went 6-6 and then lost the bowl game. So essentially, in the end, that's our only losing season in the last 30 years.
And one of our Red 17's phone line text messages come through and said that it's a good thing Alabama doesn't play Ole Miss this year. Hottie toddy. So there you go.
Good gosh almighty.
Oh, man. We appreciate that one. And I'm thankful, too, that we don't play them as well.
Well, you don't play Texas.
No, we don't play Texas. We don't play Ole Miss. And those are good times, because if they figure it out in Texas, we know that Lane Kiffin's going to do a good job on the offensive side of the ball for Ole Miss. Our offense at its current state isn't an offense that looks like it has the ability to have explosive plays to be able to take us and pull us from behind. I mean, that was the whole thing we were waiting on. Now, there's a lot of things that you look at with this Alabama team. The big thing is you're correct. Now, is it a normal thing for a head coach after a week 1 loss, to have a meeting with the boosters, because that did happen this week. It happened because he wanted to give them some confidence that our team is better than we showed on Saturday. And if that's the case, to me, that's like going into your boss's office or going into the, manager's office and trying to, behoove him to understand that we're going to do better as a team. We're going to do better as a unit. And that makes me that concerns me a little bit. But it also lets me know that if they called the meeting or if he called the meeting, now if they called the meeting, then that lets me know that there's that $70 million is not necessarily the bigger deal than you think. If he called the meeting,
he's worried.
He's worried. But he may not understand if Alabama does or does not have the money to buy him out. And the thing is when you get into this area of where we are now, because everybody's probably thinking, well, why did we pay him so much? You have to. Yeah. You have to pay the coaches the money now, because if you don't, they won't come.
Or
it's
somebody
just like
else
the players.
will.
Yeah, and somebody else will. And then if they go do something great, then it's like, oh, man, no confidence from your fan base. And then you get stuck with a Luke Fickell year where you take somebody that you didn't really want. And that was the whole question.
Well, who was the Auburn coach? Harvin, or what was his name that got let go at Auburn?
Harsnell or something like that.
Harsel or something like that. Anyway, I think he took a good about a buyout, right?
Yeah, he took a buyout.
60, 55,
something like that.
If you don't think Bama has that kind of money, I mean, that's a redheaded stepchild. Auburn, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but Auburn does have money. I'm not really sure.
You think Auburn has more money than Bama?
I don't think necessarily.
I think I don't know.
Maybe not.
No way.
But I'm just saying, it does worry me. It makes me a little bit like, again, what I said about the ego, because these athletic directors, these presidents, their name is on the line when they hire these guys. I mean, for all I know, Nick Saban's name is on this hire too. He was in part of the hiring process.
He very well could have been.
But the thing is that, I get it. We don't want to, throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they put it. But when you look at it, how long is it going to be, good to lose 3, 4, 5 games, not make the SEC championship, not make the playoff? How long do we hold on? And if it's a money thing, then we need to booster up our boosters, call some Texas Oilers, and get some money coming into the University of Alabama.
Yeah, what I would be upset with as an Alabama fan, if I were, is it's not the lack of talent. It's not the lack of, coaches. It's not, you have the highest blue chip ratio in about the country as far as recruiting top recruits in your state. You've got 5 stars everywhere you look. I read something that Dan Orlovsky said he watched y'all's tape from start to finish, counted 21 loafs where a player just gave up on a play and wasn't running. 21. How many times do you think that would have happened under Saban?
2.
It's a cultural thing.
2, the whole game.
It is a hard cultural thing. The board does not run this team as Saban did. And some of these players know. It's like having a substitute teacher.
Right. That's a great point.
Do you know how you act when you have a substitute teacher? You act up.
Hold on, my son might be listening. You act like you're supposed to act every single time, like when the teacher's there. All right, go ahead.
All right. So, yeah, and the thing is, though, the things I've been reading and listening to, I think I heard you say yesterday, you got kids up at midnight, 1 o'clock doing DoorDash or Uber Eats orders. There are unanimous donors speaking that they've seen friends and family come out of hotel rooms at late hours at night. You've got kids warming up on your football field with cell phones in hand. There's something
dancing in the locker room.
Yeah, dancing, the TikTok dances. It's absolutely absurd.
They rehearsed it.
It's not something that I would be proud of as a fan in general. I would be very, very upset with the way things are being run down there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I heard someone say that it's ran more like a pro organization. We believe so much in our scheme. We believe so much in what we're going to do and what we're telling you that it's up to you to take ownership of it and do the things that we're telling. But you got to think it's still 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids. And that's the biggest complaint across the whole NIL spectrum right now is that we're paying these kids all this money, and for them not to want to get out there and play, it's a crazy thing to think of. But it's still not the same, guys. You still have to be a coach. You give me a coach that's got passion, that's got fire, and is going to show a kid to go. They'll run through a brick wall regardless if they're making $1 million or if they're making $2. It doesn't matter. And you want somebody that's going to have passion. You want somebody that's going to have fire. And that was not the case. And it wasn't there on the sideline on Saturday. And it wasn't in the interviews, and it wasn't in the press releases, and it wasn't in anything that we've done. It's, we know we're better than this. Well, then show it.
Yeah, Saban would have went through multiple headsets. This guy's headset stayed on his head.
Yeah.
There's no emotion. There's no nothing. No upset. It's like he personally gave as much effort as the players did.
So it's a routine. So if they're loafing around in practice and nobody's getting on to them, they think it's okay. And that's where routine and culture are almost synonymous.
Practice like you play.
Well, and that's what. Whenever I would coach, and I've coached Little League football, coached baseball for many years now, and even some high school football, when you talk to them and you let them get away with stuff in practice, you will see it resonate itself. It'll show its head in that game, because I always get them at the end of practice. It was just something I always did, was I would say, you practice, and then how you play. You practice how you play. And I would repeat that so that they could hear themselves saying it and they would know. And then you would be surprised how whenever they would talk to each other on the sideline, they were like, Coach said you practice how you play, so you got to play harder, And that's the kind of stuff you want. You want accountability, and that's what's not there. But when we come back, we're going to discuss some more of the college football season. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 Studio Line.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
I have watched Alabama. I've watched them from Bear Bryant all the way up. I have never in my life seen Alabama's offensive line. They didn't get their butt whipped. They got their A whipped. Going back to last year, they had the same problem in the secondary. Tennessee, that's how Tennessee beat them last year in Knoxville. Their secondary sucked.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour, and look for it to be 88. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 75. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 5 miles per hour and a high of 88. Friday, we'll have a high of 89 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure at an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
This is your home for Auburn football.
20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Auburn! Brady Shaw is going to be a run. Jackson Arnold's got it. Jackson Arnold, 10, 5. He dances into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
Saturday, kickoff
on the Plains against Ball State, exclusively on the Auburn Sports Network.
Coverage starts Saturday at 5:30, kickoff at 6:30 on your home for college football. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290 if you agree with these two knuckleheads sitting in orange shirts beside me, or if you agree with me today, that would be absolutely 100% great. As always, on Wednesdays, we are excited to have our friend from Instant Replay Cards, Aaron Bearden. Aaron, how you doing, my man?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
Well, let me just paint a picture for you real quick, Aaron. I'm sitting in between two guys wearing puke orange and throw up orange, and I'm sitting in here trying to alleviate myself in the best way that I can and try to continue to carry this show, because one's a Tennessee fan, one seems like he's a bandwagon fan. He's just going with whoever wins and just wears their color. So, Aaron, I don't know. So you got any advice for me while I'm sitting with these guys?
That is a tough one. Let me tell you what, I deal with that all the time, living in this area and not being a college football fan at all.
What?
I often find myself in those situations. Man, just, push through, persevere. You will survive. It will get better. Trust me, once they start losing, they won't want to talk about it.
That's right. Well, and that's the thing. That's the problem with Jeff. It seems as though he's just going to wear a different color every week. So I'll just have to keep dealing with him.
I wore purple on Friday. I mean, I went to LSU, so.
Yeah.
Now, where did you grow up, Aaron?
Well, right here in the Panhandle. I was born in Panama City and grew up in Port St. Joe and then moved back here after college.
Gotcha.
Well, when we look at the card market, I saw today, and it was crazy because I didn't click on it and read for a long time, but I did click on it and read some of it. It said that Target and Walmart are both going to make so much money this year. I don't know the figure. It was up in the millions to the billions on cards this year. Have you heard anything like that?
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, depending on what information you go by and who you talk to. Yeah, so I get this kind of news stuff daily, owning a shop where they're talking about, Walmart and Target sales are up this amount. eBay sales month to month are up this amount for cards. But yeah, I had to run into Walmart today for something on my lunch break, and their card section was completely packed full. And if you're in this business any amount of time, you'll remember, say 3-4 years ago during the pandemic, it was just dust on the shelves. They couldn't keep anything in there. So, I don't know exactly. I know card companies, grading companies trying to say this is the hottest, this thing has ever been. There are some indicators, but, I don't know. It's hot. It's hot. Maybe they're selling that stuff, maybe just not here in town.
Right.
But, it's different. There's so many different little bubbles within card collecting. You'll see this stuff in the news where, somebody paid $6 million for this card. And, people who don't know the hobby are like, wow, this must be the easiest thing in the world to make a bunch of money with. And, it's like anything else. If it was that easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, exactly. So all of us in here, we're big fans of football, obviously. Do you know whether or not, does the card market, as far as, the cards that are for the college games, and I'm sure the NFL games, when someone has a great game, does the cards fluctuate in pricing? Like if somebody, comes up and has a great game, or on the flip side of that, say Arch Manning Obviously, he's a hot commodity right now. He didn't have a good game on Saturday. Does those cards fluctuate because of their performance on the field?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's like stocks. They're going to be based on, what that company does. So, yeah, one of those guys, let's say Arch Manning had come out day one and thrown, 5 touchdowns. That would be all anybody wanted to talk about in football cards the next day. And since that didn't happen, his prices stalled and dipped somewhat. It's definitely performance-based. It's injury-based. Just did a lot of speculation with it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I wondered about. So it is kind of like the stock market. That's crazy when you said it that way. It kind of made sense to me. And so right now, who would you say in the market of NFL sports cards, college football sports cards, who's that name? Is it still, because I know Travis Hunter was a big one. Is it more leaning towards the college because it's already started? And do you feel like the NFL game, with it starting tomorrow, is that going to also kick back up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, football is, when it comes to cards, football is not a year-round, evergreen kind of commodity. Baseball is. Baseball holds its value even in the off-season. Football, from, week 1 until the end of the Super Bowl, NFL football is hot. College football is not quite on that level. College football cards don't sell for as much as NFL cards, even the same players. But still, they're hot while it's being played. So, yeah, tomorrow night, what do we got? Eagles and Cowboys, right?
Yes.
So if Jalen Hurts comes out and has an incredible game, if Dak Prescott were to do it, yeah, their cards would spike up really, really quickly. Like during the game, as it's going on, even, the cards would be selling for more online. And you could track that like on eBay with real-time sales data and see maybe from first quarter to third quarter how the same particular Jalen Hurts rookie card might go up based on his performance.
Hey, Aaron, Tennessee Brandon over here. Just a question about your store. So you do the buy, sell, and trade on all sports cards, all sports?
Uh-huh.
Okay, awesome, man. Yeah, I was just curious about that. I telling these guys the other week, man, I just pulled down like some of my 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, like MLB cards, some rookie cards. I've got some NFL cards, and so may have to stop. I got a business off Jinx Avenue, so you're not too far away from me. I may have to slide in there this week and see if I can bring you some to look at and to see if I got anything.
Yeah, that era, not to dissuade you. I mean, but it's just in general. So that era in card collecting is sort of known as the junk wax era or the junk card era. Just because they made so much
so
of it
many of them,
to other times. But there are still some gems in there, and certainly great players who, kind of their card value is trying to fight against the fact that there are 4 or 5 million of every one of those cards.
Yeah, of course.
So particularly outside of baseball. Baseball got overprinted first because it sold the most. Anyway, it always does. So they were overprinting baseball by about 1984, 85, something like that, 86 for sure. Football, it took a little bit more for the card boom in the 80s to happen to really catch on with football. So if you got football from like 86, 87, those are still some pretty good cards. They're worth more than the baseball
cards,
of that year. Yeah. Basketball, it took another year or so. So if you've got basketball up to about 88, 89, those are still nice cards.
Okay.
Now, once you get to about 1990, it kind of all falls off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had. I had all the 80s stuff. I do remember, but most of my stuff, I don't think I even had any rookie cards. Like all of mine were like 3rd, 4th, or 7th year baseball cards. And I remember I had like Eddie Murray, Rick Ruschel, those type guys. I'm sure it was a junk market. I didn't just throwing all of mine away.
Aaron, let me ask you this. As far as because you did say the Eagles and the Cowboys obviously playing tomorrow. The Eagles, being the Super Bowl champions, but as far as I want to go into the Packers because they just signed Micah Parsons. So how do are they able to produce that card like almost immediately? Are they getting that out there because he's going to go with number 1? So obviously they can't just take the jersey off and leave everything the same. And but are they going to be able to mass produce that card quickly as far as those fans that are waiting for the Packers?
Yeah. So there are there's really a couple of different ways they get cards to people. One is the traditional thing, which you guys, it sounds like you're all familiar with, the idea of they print these cards, they put them into a pack, they ship them out to, card shops or Walmart or whoever. You buy the pack, open it up, there's cards. That's a slow process. Those sets are put together 6 to 12 months before you ever see them. So sometimes you buy those and you go, oh, he's still in last year's jersey, from another team or whatever. Mm. Now, option number 2, which is a more recent thing, is a sort of print on demand. And they may not do it for every player just because they get traded or sign a new deal. But when something big happens, a big milestone happens, the card companies a lot of times on their websites will put those cards out. And they may, I'm not sure when Micah Parsons' first game is going to be in a Packer jersey, but they probably got somebody there to take a photo of him the first play he's involved in. And they're going to put that on a card, and they may have that for sale maybe the minute the game ends on their website.
Wow.
And they may say, you can order for the next 48 hours, however many we sell, that's how many we will print and ship directly to you. And after that, there's no more.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds crazy. So let me ask you, we're talking with Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports. Aaron, let me ask you this. What kind of deals do you have going on at the shop right now that you can tell all the people that are listening? Because this weekend is supposed to be really pretty, and there could be some good deals going on over there. People need to come see you.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great release time for sports cards. We just got in brand new Optic basketball hobby mega boxes. Very affordable way to get Optic, which is one of the key products out right now. Everybody loves Optic in every sport. We also, today, I think was release day for Leaf Optichrome football. Phenomenal product. A bunch of autos in there from the college guys, the new rookies, the legends, vets, Hall of Famers. Kind of a great, really affordable product as well. The baseball, they're putting new stuff out. I think Prism Baseball is about to come out. So, every sport right now is dropping some hot new stuff. You even got new wrestling cards. And so it's there's stuff out there for everybody right now.
Awesome. Do you have some memorabilia over there that you sell at the shop as well?
Oh, absolutely. We have tons of signed memorabilia here. Everything signed: baseballs, bats, helmets, jerseys, pictures, even non-sports, a lot of non-sports entertainment memorabilia, signed movie posters and photos and things like that as well.
Music?
Yeah, we got some music stuff too. I'm a musician myself, so some of that doesn't always make it out to the sales floor when it comes to
Well, Jeff was specifically wanting to know if you had any Taylor Swift autographs over there.
I knew he was going to say that.
Literally, yes, we do. We do have a Taylor Swift autograph card here in the shop.
Well, we know where Jeff's coming after. What time do you close tonight? Because Jeff's probably on his way.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, weekdays, Monday through Saturday, we close at 8 p.m. Sundays close
plenty
at 6
of time.
p.m.
That's awesome. That sounds good. That'd be plenty of time for you to go over there and get you a sign.
No Jonas Brothers, though. I'm so sad.
No? Yeah.
I would have to go look. I'm not saying it's impossible. Yeah, we do a lot of non-sports autographs, a lot of cards like Leaf Pop Century, which contains a lot of singers and actors and stuff like that as well.
I don't know how old you are, but I'm 52, and the nostalgia for the 1980s rock bands, not just like U2, NXS, Van Halen, those type old concert shirts, oh my God, they're golden. I mean, like my brother who's much older, 13 years older than me, the Beatles, the Doors, that type stuff, the Led Zeppelins and all that. Oh, yeah, that stuff would sell like hotcakes.
Well, Aaron, before we go, go ahead.
I was going to say two of my favorite memorabilia pieces I own are both Beatles related. I have a Beatles Butcher cover album, an original one, and I have a piece signed by all 4 Beatles.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
In my collection.
That's super nice.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Aaron, before we go, give us the location, give us the address, and then maybe you can come into it and we can maybe crack a couple of cards open or something like that. Jeff will buy them for us, and that'll be a cool thing. But tell us where you're located so that everybody knows, and maybe tell us something's going on this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Instant Replay Sports Cards. We're at 752 West 23rd Street at Stanford Station. If you know where Academy Sports, Sweet Frog Yogurt, we're right next door to Sweet Frog, right here, right behind the El Jalisco on 23rd Street. And, open 7 days a week. Great events this weekend. Friday night, we have our Kids Club. Happens every Friday at 6 o'clock. Bring the kids in. They get on some real affordable box breaks. They go home with a ton of cards. Saturday, breaks in the shop. And we always got something going on. We got Pokemon League. We got Rip Night every month. We got all kind of fun things. Check us out, InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
What time do y'all close?
Monday through Saturday at 8 p.m., Sundays at 6 p.m.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Aaron, and we're excited about you being on the Sports Blitz every Wednesday. We ran a little bit earlier because we were talking about my Alabama Crimson Tide, and they were just giving me the trouble, so I had to take up for myself. So I hope you understood that being a little bit later, but we took some more time with you, and we will see you or talk to you next week, my friend.
Absolutely. You guys take care. Everybody out there, be good, be safe.
All right. Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports. We're going to come back and talk about the rest of the SEC schedules, the rest of the SEC teams, and Tennessee. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Jeff in Detroit. You are a bridge, the Eisen Bridge. You have entertainers that want to be athletes, and you have athletes that love entertainers. And you bring them together, man.
The 3-time Emmy-nominated Rich Eisen Show.
You do it so seamlessly, it's not even funny. Definitely looking forward to you doing it on the new network.
Rich Eisen, weekdays 11 to 2, right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. If you have a problem with our hot takes, call us and say it to our face.
10 years from now, I'll be making a difference in this world while you'll be sitting there getting your diaper changed by your nurse.
The Sports Blitz is on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yes, we're back here on a Wednesday here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in 850-215-6290. Guys, we've talked a lot about the Alabama game, and the one thing that I do want to bring back up is the fact that, when you see that Alabama team and you see the things that's going on, and we talked about it, we touched on it a little bit yesterday, they also see it. The social media aspect of all of this, these kids see it, and there's some of the things that they've been, put on, interviews with people because now it's opened up a little bit more. They can talk to the media at certain times. They can do the things that they're doing. And, I heard somebody, being interviewed yesterday, and I'm not going to say the kid's name or whatever, but he just said, we just didn't play good. We didn't play good. He kept saying, we didn't play good. We didn't play good. And that's another one of those things that kind of scares me too. Early on, it wasn't that we didn't play good. It was the intensity, the tenacity, and the anger. See, that's what people don't understand. And some people do. Football is an aggressive, angry sport. And if you're not the aggressor, if you're not the angry one, a lot of times you're going to lose. And that's where the whole thing about getting punched in the mouth came up. That's where the whole thing about Alabama was more of a punish-e, if you want to say, I guess that made up a word. But they absorbed more than they gave out. And that's the biggest thing that I saw on Saturday, and that's what hurts my feelings the most, is that we were bigger, we were stronger, but we didn't see it. You know what I mean?
You didn't want it as bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was clear. It looked like it. I mean, just the effort that was on the field at the time just looked extremely poor.
And I'm a realist when it comes to stuff, Obviously, you want the best players because why? Because usually the best players win. I'm not saying that there's not issues in life. I watched the movie Rudy. Okay, I get it. Some of that people don't realize they made that up. Some of that, but because for the show, for the movie. But when you look at it, a guy that's smaller than you, yes, he can try as hard as he can. He can do all the things. He can do everything the coach tells him to do. He can out practice everybody, but at the end of the day, the talent usually will separate itself from the untalented. And it's just like, man, we talked about the one of the keys that was going into this season that was really highlighted by the Alabama coaching staff, it was highlighted by the Alabama media, was the fact that nobody was leaving the program. Everybody was staying. People wasn't leaving. They wasn't jumping ship because they were like, we're going to right this ship. We're going to ride through this with Coach. We're going to make this, a place where we sign 5 stars and we continue the tradition that Coach Saban had going on. And all of those things started coming out. And so I was feeling really good about it. But nobody sensed in the building. Nobody said, I worry about the way that they're practicing. Nobody mentioned it. So I don't even know because, we talked to Taylor Devers on Tuesday, and we talked to him always about the media is kept out of certain parts of Florida State's practices. But for all I know, I think Alabama's just about is open. I've watched some of their practice just by some of the people, and you can't see it. I didn't see it. I wasn't looking for it, but I know what it looks like. And so today being one of those days, and guys, I apologize to everybody listening right now. I know this has been kind of the Alabama segment, but this doesn't happen very often. So I got to get all this stuff off my chest because my wife won't listen to me.
So, this is the 2021 is what they're ranked.
Right.
When's the last time they were ranked anything at that or below?
Tell me.
17 years. 17 years.
17 years
17
ago.
Years, yeah.
Do you know the last time Alabama lost their season opener?
2001.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who was that against, I wonder?
I don't remember, but it's
probably
not
somebody
good.
like Wisconsin or something like that.
I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt Wisconsin.
Yeah, we'll have to look
Probably
that one up.
somebody else. Yeah, we can look it up.
Maybe somebody call in.
Yeah, maybe they know. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in the 850-215-6290. We'd love to hear what you think about this. But going back to what I was talking about is the fact that I went in today and I had some time to watch a video, just a quick one, of a Coach Saban coached type of practice. And I could just hear him screaming. I could just hear him talking. I could hear him telling kids to do this, to do that. And it just made me wonder. I'd like to go back now and look at some of the videos of practice and see what the coaches are doing. Are they vocal? Are they screaming? Because, that was one of the things we interviewed Coach Tommy Joe Whidden the other day from Mosley High School. And when he called in, it was on a Thursday. So they had a Thursday practice, obviously. He was headed to his JV game. And he started talking to me. And Jeff heard him. He was hoarse. And I was like, man, number one, you got a great name. Tommy Joe Whidden, head football coach.
There you go.
Sounds pretty good to me. I love it. Then his voice was hoarse. And I was like, man, you sound like a high school football coach. Now, he's an Auburn fan, so I was like, Coach, the bromance is gone. So, but anyway, when you hear these guys hollering, they're screaming, they're energized, and it's like what Jeff said. He was just standing over there looking at the scoreboard. He was standing over there looking in the sky. He had a little grimace on his face. And I get it, man. You can be calm. You can be controlled. You can do all that. But your players are going to play like the man that's leading you. You're going to imitate. You're going to be like, you're going to take on his mannerisms. And the mannerisms bothers me. I haven't lost any sleep over it yet, but the mannerisms that he has, they're not mannerisms of what I think or what I feel like. He looks like more of an NFL coach. He looks like more of one of those guys that, they're dealing with grown men. Obviously, these kids are grown. I get it. Don't get me wrong. But he seems like he's more of like an NFL coach. Like, you're playing for your money. Go earn your business. We're going to put you in the spot where we think they're going to play, but you've got to be the one to make the play. And I guess that's always been the case, that you've got to get out there and make the play. But it didn't seem like there was a bunch of substitutions. The teams, the people that were on the field in the first half were the same people that were on the field in the second half and into the fourth quarter. And that's scary to me, is that, do we have depth, or do we just not trust the other ones? Because obviously they wasn't doing very good. You guys are just pausing on me. I get it, but
we're letting you get it all out, Paul.
Yeah, the white guy in the defensive backfield.
Where did that come from?
Did you see all the jokes about him?
Yeah, where he was loafing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean honestly, he played pretty good last year. He was one of those players that looked like he was playing for us a starting position, and they had all good talks about him coming into it, and actually that they had talked about that there's a possibility that he might be an all-SEC performer. Well, I mean, you got to run faster than that if you're going to be an all-SEC performer. You got to try harder if you're going to be an all-SEC performer, but it just seems like, man, what are we doing?
There's jokes about white defensive backs in the NFL, and there's a reason why. They're very few and far between.
Right.
Once a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Well, I mean, the Eagles have one.
Yeah.
You remember Jason Sehorn back in the day.
The Giants, 15, 17 years ago. It's been a little while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a long time, man.
But, I mean, there are some. They just don't get the recognition.
I mean, LSU's got 2 linebackers that are white.
Yeah, they are.
It's a different position now.
Right.
We're talking about speed.
Yeah, and I get it. And we can go down that rabbit hole another day. But, man, I'm just thinking, I don't care what color you are. I don't care how fast you are. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how you do everything right. But if you're going to loaf, you can just sit yourself right over here by me and watch the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's like another demerit on Kalen DeBoer. It's the fact that the same players who gave that piss-poor effort in the first half were the players who started in the second half. Like, there were no repercussions of the poor effort.
Well, I'm sure at the halftime they got their you-know-what shoes.
Or did they?
Or did they?
Exactly. I mean, the way that they come out, they weren't fired up.
Man. If they didn't, boosters would be, ugh.
Well, they had a booster meeting. So I mean, you don't really know. And that's the biggest thing.
And then you come out in the second half and you start sitting players that weren't given, effort. Those are the players you're paying all the NIL money to, potentially. So then you're upsetting, I mean, it's an iffy road to go down.
And football has changed with all of this NFL or NIL, and we've made it like the NFL game where you're going to do whatever. We've made it through our first hour. When we come back, we're going to tell you who won the Sports Blitz High School Football Player of the Week. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
If it doesn't work out for the Cincinnati Bengals, if they go a third straight year of not making the playoffs, then all of a sudden Joe Burrow is, his status as a quote-unquote elite quarterback in the eyes of most has to change. All of a sudden, he gets relegated to that second tier of quarterback.
Evan Canty and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour and look for it to be 88. Tonight, there will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 75. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 5 miles per hour and a high of 88. Friday, we'll have a high of 89 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
For exciting college football, the best boiled seafood, and the most game day fun, it's Lone Star Boil House. Watch the games on their huge Jumbotron. Challenge your friends to beer pong, cornhole, and oversized Connect 4 in their new adult lounge. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for incredible wings, the best boiled seafood, and a new breakfast menu. Saturday and Sunday starting at 9. Crush the follow on Facebook to catch huge game day specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The 2025 Atlanta Braves always find the will to battle back, and they're looking to close the year out strong.
Michael Harris has something to say. Belch one to deep right field and long gone.
Tonight, it's one final game between the Braves and the Chicago Cubs from historic Wrigley Field as Atlanta closes out a big road trip.
Final game of the road trip for the Braves. Pre-game 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:40. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. They're number one in the men's room.
I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
The Sports Blitz.
Oh, geez, this is going to be a photo finish.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's 5:01 here on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You made it through this hump day on Wednesday, and we're so glad that you made it. We're here hanging out, talking, and you know what? We're glad to have all of our listeners, whether you're listening from Sandestin, Destin, Santa Rosa Beach, Freeport, Panama City Beach, Panama City, St. Joe, Lynn Haven, all of the places. Callaway, I'm trying to think of more places. Is there any more places that I'm missing? If they are, you can do us a big favor. Call in. You can text in the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Guys, we are having a good time. I've got Tennessee Brandon in the orange, and then the bandwagon Jeff in the orange as well. So we are having a good time. It's just hard for me because I try to keep my eyes forward, but I keep seeing this puke orange to the right and this throw up orange to the left. So it's really hard for me.
I wonder what he's eating if throw up orange. I mean, if he's throwing up orange.
A lot of carrots.
I mean, is he drinking Pedialyte?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, you got to think.
So do you have a second team in college, Paul?
Not necessarily have a second team. I just enjoy football. I pull for the SEC. Yeah. I totally hate the Big Ten. I despise everything and anything that's associated with OSU, Ohio State University. Not the people. I have friends that are Ohio State fans. I like you, but I don't like your team at all. I don't care about them at all, and that's it. How about you? You got a number 2 team? Just anybody that LSU and then anybody that wins?
I mean, no, there's certain teams I'm partial to. Of course, my daughter goes to Ole Miss, And
Right.
And my dad grew up in northern Mississippi. I am a bit of a Gators fan. I like the Gators. I'm actually partial to Clemson.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
The helmet, the attitude of the fans and everything.
Both
they're
Tigers, both Death Valley.
Yeah.
The correlation.
I mean, it's like sister school from the ACC, you know?
Yeah, but
And look, in the SEC, though, I would say, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida is 1, 2, 3 for me.
What about, like, if somebody else is playing an SEC school? So if Alabama's playing Michigan.
It depends, because let me tell you, I do not like the Longhorns, and they played Ohio State. Now, I don't like Ohio State. So I was like, can't both these teams lose? You know? I mean, really.
Yeah.
But if Ohio State's playing anybody else in the SEC, nah, I'm pretty much pulling for the
a
SEC.
little more mean. I kind of root against teams that I don't like. So there'll be a handful in the SEC that I kind of wish they'd lose every game of the year. But
There's Auburn fans who will never, ever pull for Bama, especially in national championship. And then, I'm not saying Georgia fans, but everybody's got their own little rivals that they hate. But if Vanderbilt, not that it's happening, obviously.
No.
Well, no, let's say basketball. Vanderbilt goes to the national title game playing against UCLA. Who are you pulling for?
I'm definitely pulling for Vandy.
There you go.
I mean, not a Tennessee school, but I'm not just a Tennessee school.
Now, who gets the least amount of hate in the SEC?
The least?
The least amount of hate. Do you think it's Vandy?
No, because they have a good baseball and basketball program, so people like them.
Well, I think
So South Carolina? I mean, who are we talking about here? Oklahoma now that they're not doing anything?
Well, I mean, they won last week. We'll see.
Who did they beat last week?
I don't
Don't even know, but they're playing Michigan this week. Guess what? We're going to be pulling for Oklahoma this week.
Well, you got to think, too, probably, I would say Mississippi State is probably the whipping post for everybody. Because basketball, not very good. Baseball, they do
Kentucky people are probably the only person they hate Mississippi State, because that's probably the only number that Mississippi State has of. No, really.
True,
I mean, I have to look at the series record on that one.
Some people that know me, but I guess they don't know me very well, said that my second team would be Auburn on Facebook. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nene, that's not true.
You lived in Kentucky. It should be the Wildcats.
My son goes to Kentucky, so I would have to say that Kentucky, and while you're saying that, my wife just posted Kentucky, so I guess so that I can have some good.
Yes, ma'am.
So it definitely is Kentucky. But let's get into it, guys. We have something that's pretty awesome that we get to be a part of, and that is that we get to have the Sports Blitz High School Football Player of the Week. And the thing is that it's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to do this. And the way it works is that we give them local gift cards and an ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. And I'm telling you, last week's gifts were awesome. I'm not going to give them away, but they were pretty cool. I would have loved to have had them, not just gift cards, but there was an actual gift that was pretty cool. And so the thing is, it's a cool thing. It's awesome. And we get to take a picture together and post it on the Facebook page and just really honor the student athlete. And this week, we had a lot of people that we have contacted. And again, if you have somebody you want to nominate, you don't have to be the head coach. You don't have to be anything tied to the program. You could just want to nominate. Maybe you're a Bay High fan. Maybe you're a Mosley fan. Maybe you're an Arnold fan or a Bozeman fan or a North Bay Haven fan. Whoever you're a fan of, you can send it to you can text it to the 850-215-6290, or you can comment on the Facebook page as well. And any of those people, we will look at them, and then we will decide who deserves to be it. Now, all of them could deserve it, but we have to pick one. And so for this week's last Friday night's big-time game, Bay High Mosley, the quarterback, Zay Morgan, threw 2 touchdown passes. He had 343 passing yards to lead Bay High over Mosley, which was a shocker, 34-21. And, guys, I was at the game, and he threw some absolute dimes. He dropped some right in the bucket, and really looked good. He's got some good wide receivers over there that's got good hands. He threw some slants. He threw some deep balls, and he really got out there and played some football. He ran a couple that, got outside the pocket. The pocket collapsed, and he did a really good job. So, Zay, you did a great job, man. It doesn't not go unnoticed. We will be coming over there to Bay and to take our picture and give you some gift cards, and that's just awesome. I know he's probably practicing right now, so he's probably not listening. But he had an extraordinary game, and he had presence in the huddle. He had presence in the pocket, and he looked really good. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, most of that game was, like a 7-point lead most of the game?
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Close game, but I think Mosley took like a 1-point lead at one point.
Yeah, they were up at one point. Yeah,
so like 14-13.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they had missed the extra point, and it was a. I mean, it was a good game. It was going back and forth. Now, what's cool is both of those teams, they play there a lot. That's their home field. So you're playing at your home field even though you're the away team.
They make them switch the
because
the sides of the field that they sit on, and they do not. I don't want to say they do not intermingle, but
yeah, and so. But I'm telling you, it was packed, and I was there. And I waited in line.
What side do you sit on?
I sat on the home side just because that's where I parked. And
less walking.
Less walking. That's right. And
so was that the Tornado side?
No, it was Mosley's side.
Dolphins. Okay.
Dolphins, yeah. So I went to the concession stand, and I'm not kidding you. Now, they were doing a great job. They were doing the best that they could. They had it opened up. But they only have one concession stand on one side, so everybody has to come to that side. So, possibly, if they want to figure out a way to get the visiting side of a way to get a concession stand, that would be good over there. But when you look at it, there was probably, I don't know what the number was, but it felt like 3,000 to 5,000 people there. I mean, there was a lot of people there.
3,000 to 5,000?
It felt like it, but it probably wasn't. But there was so many people.
But Mosley fills the stands pretty good.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But I waited 30 minutes.
For what?
For nachos.
for
drinks.
For nachos, for chili cheese fries.
Yeah, he's got a family to feed.
Yeah, for hot dogs.
And you know what he's standing there in line watching? All these teenagers hitting on other teenagers.
Yeah, they were. They were. All the gossip. All these guys acting like they're so cool.
Oh, yeah,
and you know what I smelt? Axe body spray the whole time.
I thought he smelled something illegal. Well, not illegal anymore.
No, the police was there the whole time. They did a great job. The Bay County sheriffs were there. They were making sure that people were going back to their seat, and with all those kids running around, you had little kids. You had little kids, big kids, high school kids, college kids, and then
have you seen the drones that they video?
Yeah, both teams had drones up in the air during the whole game.
Yeah,
and it was just
there's some players if they're injured or whatever, they'll run the drone.
Yeah, one of the players was running the drone for Mosley's side, so a really good game. It was a really good time, But we just want to make sure that Zay understands how we're honoring him today. That's just a great game. He was just electric. So
this being a district game, Mosley's back is against the wall and to make the playoffs.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Well,
no, because they're not in the same district.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a district game.
They're out of district. Yeah, Bay's in only
3A.
They're 3A. Mosley's 4A. So and they're out of they're not even in the same. But it's a big rivalry. Last year Mosley spanked them pretty good.
Yeah, like 52 to whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So Bay High got their revenge, and I'm telling you, from what I saw, Bay High has got some really good athletes. Seems like the coaching is good, and they really played some really top-notch football. So just wanted to say that, get that over. We're going to move over to talk about a little bit of this team that Brandon loves called the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, Brandon, we didn't get to watch a lot of it. We watched some of it. Now, we got takeaways from the game, but you know what? Because I'm a gentleman, I've been a gentleman all week. I've let people say what they want to say first. I want to turn it over to you, let you give us a little bit of the recap. Not that there was anything bad, but I do have some questions about some of this game. So go ahead.
I know where those questions are coming from. So the game is great. First of all,
not Jeff. He's wearing an orange shirt.
Show me your cup.
I'm thirsty. Hang on one second.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
Yep.
All right. That's great.
So first and foremost, if anybody that's listening, if you've not been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, please go. It's a spectacle. It is absolutely awesome. I've been to a few stadiums. This one, honestly, might have been. I mean, I know you said you're from New Orleans area, so I'm sure you've been to the Superdome.
Yeah, but the Superdome was like built when I was 2 years old.
Okay, well,
yeah, it's old.
Nonetheless, I mean, I think walking into a dome atmosphere was awesome. Just the ambiance, the sound, the everything about there was great. They did a great job.
So is this the old Georgia Dome, and they just slapped the new name on it? Is that what it is?
No, this is where the Atlanta Falcons play.
Okay, so
yeah, it's where the Falcons play.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
It's where like the SEC championship.
So it was built within the last 8 years, right?
Yeah,
I would think so.
Okay.
So I mean, we got there. We were 13.5-point favorites, and ended up winning by like 19 points. So I mean, we did what we needed to do.
So you beat the spread.
We beat the spread.
In the last 4 openers, Tennessee has outscored their opponents. I believe it was 215-32.
Yeah, I didn't mean much. We don't.
Y'all are killing in the last 4 openers.
We don't hardly ever open up with super stiff competition. So I mean, let me just go ahead.
215-32. I mean, y'all killing people in the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, as far as quarterback goes, I haven't seen our offense run that well in a couple of years.
That's what I was going to ask.
Joey Aguilar run it better than Milton ever did. He ran it better than I ever watched Nico. I'm gonna leave you. Gonna do that. No.
I love it.
No, but for real, I haven't seen our offense run like that in a hot minute. Now I do think our depth on defense is a little questionable, especially since we acquired a couple more injuries on defense that game. One of them would be a cornerback, Ricky Gibson. Obviously, we're already missing our Jamad McCoy. He's our All-American, and heard that he may not even be back for the Georgia game. Which is, it is what it is.
Which is not 2 weeks. Well,
yeah, it's 2 weeks.
A week and a half.
Yeah, ETSU, and then Georgia at home. So we have a defensive tackle, Jackson Moy. He has an upper body injury. I'm assuming he would safely miss the ETSU week, hoping he'd be back for Georgia. So we got 3 pretty big injuries, 2 in the secondary and 1 on the D line that we were already thin with to begin with. But as far as offense, I was extremely, extremely thrilled. It's the best I've seen it run in a couple of years.
So Aguilar went 16 of 28, and I mean that's okay.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
3 touchdowns.
That's great.
The no interception part is
45 points on the board.
Yeah, that's really good.
What is concerning is that Syracuse did not give up and end up with 26.
Yes.
26 points.
Yeah, that's a little.
That's where I was going to go, but I want to talk about Aguilar first.
Yeah.
So was he able? Did they have an opportunity for? Did you see him make good decisions? That's what you want to look at when you're looking at a coach or when you're watching a player and you're wanting to know, does he do the things that you need him to do, which is throw the ball away? Does he know when to step into the pocket? Does he know when to scramble? Does he work through his progressions? Did he change anything at the line of scrimmage? Those are the type of things that you want to see in an experienced quarterback. Obviously, he didn't play at the high level being at App State, but he played the position. So he should be able to know, and that would give me more concern if he didn't do those things, being more of a veteran starter, so to speak, because I loved how you said that was he ran the offense better than Milton. He ran the offense better than, obviously, Nico. But is the reason why you're saying that is because he did those type of things or because the offense really was kicking?
So everything you said, I noticed in him. I mean, as far as decision-making, no interceptions. We stepped up in the pocket when we needed to. We got rid of the ball when we needed to. He had 6 carries for 34 yards, averaging 5.7 yards a carry. So he got out where he needed to, when he needed to. So I was very, very impressed with that. 8.8 yards per throw, 62 QBR. Not the greatest, but first game he had a fumble early. I think those are just first game jitters. Yeah. He ironed it out. So I have zero complaints with Joey. He ran it, he threw it. No interceptions, so the mistakes were very minimal. We didn't need him to do a whole lot against Syracuse. But, it was probably the most accurate downfield passing I've seen in a couple of years. I'm not saying he's a better athlete than Nico. Not at all. Not even close. However, I do think he is an extremely, an extremely better fit for our offense than Nico ever was.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going too. So you want to know, to me, is can you do all the things, the intangible things that we talked about, or the tangible things that we talked about, and then does he have the arm talent? Because I saw some of the throws. I mean, because what you want to see is you want to see what like Hendon Hooker did, where he could throw the ball up and Wyatt would go get it. You know, so I think he had one for 73 yards.
We had one for 73. That was the Braylon Staley. He was the SEC Freshman of the Week on offense.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him. Big 73-yard bomb. I mean, he dropped it right in the breadbasket. It was probably one of the most beautiful passes I've seen downfield all weekend, not to be biased, but it was absolutely beautiful.
You kind of are, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was great. I mean, the short to intermediate accuracy was great. The downfield. Now, we need to get on the jugs machines. Our receivers dropped quite a few passes that hit them right, you know, where it needed to be. I mean, I was a receiver growing up, slot receiver. Ball hits you in the hands, you got to catch it,
right.
Especially at that level when they're paying you money and you're all you're doing is practicing. I mean, I get it. First game, big stadium. By the way, 45,000 people showed up to the game.
Yeah,
I would say it was about 9-1 Tennessee fans.
Really?
It was
45,000.
45,000. It only holds 60.
So it was still good.
And we traveled from Syracuse and Knoxville.
Yeah.
I mean, 45,000 people.
I was thinking you'd get above 50, though. I really did. I thought it would be above 50.
I mean, your stadium holds 103.
103.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the college kids aren't going to drive down there.
They're not
going to come.
They're not driving.
Atlanta.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
yeah, but
what kind of place do you want? Vegas or Nashville to travel?
No, but they're not going to go.
A home opener against Syracuse, opened up against somebody more. I don't think people were very intrigued with our home opener.
Who do you want to open with next year?
Who
would you like to? We're not talking Wake Forest.
Are we talking in conference or out of
No,
conference?
out of conference. Who do you want to open with?
First game of the
I
year?
would love a Big Ten team. Give me any of them.
All right.
Give me any of them.
Do you want to ask me that same question about Alabama?
Nobody's worried about Bama.
The little sisters of the poor. I don't want anybody good. I don't want anybody that's real good at all.
Somebody played, I think it was Louisiana Monroe, opened with San Francis. I'm not making this up.
But
wait a minute. So, okay, so you play Ohio State in Bengal Stadium. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, competition like that, you really see where you're at first game of the year. You really, really can. I don't like this. Let's play Syracuse. Let's play the 50th ranked defense in the country. Let's go play, the junior college in Tennessee, ETSU, where the kids who didn't make it to the D1 level. And then we got to go play Georgia. I mean, the talent differential between those teams and Georgia, and the amount of, I don't want to say the amount of effort you have to give, but the mental focus and everything that you're going to need to go through a team like that, I don't think that you get when you play back to back. I'm not calling Syracuse a cupcake. They were a 10-win team last year. They're an ACC. They're a Power 4 team. However, it's still Syracuse. And then we have ETSU.
Y'all played
next.
Virginia Tech and Bristol, right?
NASCAR? Yeah.
3 years ago, or it might be longer than that.
But the thing that I want to mention, though, is kind of what he alluded to earlier, was the fact that the Syracuse didn't give up. And they also, the thing about Syracuse was they seemed like they made some adjustments at halftime to make it to where the game got a little closer. And that's where I think, it was probably good to play somebody like Syracuse, where you jump out and you're ahead and you're winning, and then you have to finish the game. You can't just kind of put it on cruise control and see, because you do that with a Georgia team. I used to would say Alabama. Yeah. You do that with a LSU team. You do that with even an Ole Miss team or a Florida team or anybody else in the SEC. You could find yourself on the back end of a real dogfight, and that's kind of where I was going to go at the end of this whole talk, was the fact that, did it bother you that the points started coming in the second half a little bit more, and when players start going down, that starts getting you to your depth, and you're like, man, what are we doing here? Because like you said, when you go play Georgia, you're going to have to play nicked up some, because you're going to have some hitting going on.
Yeah, no doubt. And so as a Tennessee fan, you understand that some of this comes with the hypo offense. When you're moving as fast as you do, when you score as many points as you do, I mean, your opponent has the ball just as much. I mean, your defense is on the field the whole time. And I do kind of worry about our defensive line depth. and defensive depth in general. I mean, they had a couple guys, they ran for 103 yards and scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. That was the way they were able to move the ball, and that's the way they were able to score.
And you know as well as I do, SEC football, if you can't stop the run, Alabama, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
So that's
playing
scary.
Syracuse is different than playing Georgia. Georgia's going to have. I don't think I would be surprised if Syracuse had a single 5-star player on there. They may have one, maybe not. But I mean, you got Georgia, who's got a dozen of them. Who a couple weeks ago, when you read out that list, I swear to goodness, 50% of those kids were from Georgia, whether it be special teams, offense, defense. So if we're struggling on and. If it wasn't for Angeli's negative 27 yards, they would have run for about $130. So we had some good looks, but I just didn't like the way they ran the ball.
Yeah, so there's some things that they need to tidy up for sure. And for me, I do pull for the SEC, but I'm not going to be pulling for Tennessee this whole year anyway.
Yeah,
so
well,
it don't matter.
I hate to enlighten you, but y'all are playing, and they play East Tennessee State, right? And they follow with Georgia. Yeah. And then they play a cupcake, then they play at Mississippi State, and then they play Arkansas, then they play Bama.
Yeah.
They could easily be 5-1 with a loss to Georgia going into the Bama game.
Yeah.
You want to talk about trying to set somebody straight in Tuscaloosa, you gotta beat Tennessee.
So after Georgia,
I'm not saying all focus on Tennessee, but you could be playing a 6-0 Tennessee.
We got a UAB, Mississippi State, Arkansas.
UAB. Yeah. I'm not saying UAB is a cupcake, but
they are a cupcake.
A little bit.
I watched them.
They're at home.
Well, we're going to take our break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our picks from last week and the picks from this week. You're listening to the Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
This one's going supersonic.
Tonight, the Atlanta Braves look to play the role as spoilers as they take on the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are looking for a wild card, but they got to get past the Atlanta Braves. Airtime coming up at 6. First pitch from Wrigley Field at 6:40 right here on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. It's 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday evening. As we head into tonight, clear skies and a low of 74 with a calm wind. For tomorrow morning, sunshine with a light breeze and a temp near 85. In the afternoon and evening, a wind out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunny and a high around 87. For Friday, sunshine and a high of 89. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
This is your home for Auburn football.
20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Auburn! It's going to be a run. Jackson Arnold's got it. Jackson Arnold, 10, 5. He dances into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
Saturday, kickoff on the Plains against Ball State, exclusively on the Auburn Sports Network.
Coverage starts Saturday at 5:30, kickoff at 6:30 on your home for college football. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Now back to the Sports Blitz. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget you can call in. You can text in the Red 17's phone line 850-215-6290. I'm in here with these two knuckleheads wearing the orange today, and we are having a blast. We've got to go through all of the picks from last week, and guys, I just want to say a lot of these upsets that happened, a lot of these things that happened were just not good for my picks. You know, and we can look at it and see what we did. Texas versus Ohio State. I think everybody in the building picked Texas, and we all lost that one. And if you look at it, the second game, and we'll dive into that tomorrow. We're going to dive into the Texas game tomorrow. We won't talk about it today. But the Notre Dame-Miami game was the one game that I picked Miami because, again, I believe that Carson Beck is going to do very good this year. Now, Jeff, you went with Notre Dame on that pick, right?
I sure didn't. Y'all both went Miami.
You went Miami, too.
I went Miami, yeah.
Yeah. And did you get to watch any of it? I know you were at the
Oh, yeah, game. I did get to watch a lot of it, yeah. And where my notes at? What, Carson Beck plays well? Yeah, somewhere in here.
Yeah, they're in there for sure because he did. He spun it pretty good. Jeff's not a big fan of Carson Beck. And actually, I don't
hate him.
I know, but one of our big listeners that is a big Miami fan, he's not too fond of Jeff. He called him Putt Jeff or Top Golf Jeff.
Top Golf,
yeah. So he said, all he does is yawn and roll his eyes. So when we start talking about Miami, so it's really good. But anyway, and then we got to LSU and Clemson, and surprisingly, I picked Clemson.
Everybody picked
Clemson.
I got that one wrong.
And I think that was the biggest, one that everybody missed because we had at least one.
Only Taylor Devers picked Florida State.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That wasn't the huge upset.
Those are that win for LSU is one of those wins where I'm going to have a hard time picking against them the rest of the year when you go into Clemson and you win that type of game. So I think that was a statement when early in the year.
When I picked at the beginning of the year, I said, and I'm okay. Look, this is just honesty because I'm an LSU fan. I said we lose at Clemson, we lose at Ole Miss, and we lose at Alabama. 3 road games is where we would lose and finish 9-3.
So now, do you still believe losing at Alabama is a possibility?
Be honest.
Yeah, I do. I'm not changing the way I'm thinking, but I'm also worried about the inside of Texas A&M and Florida at home.
Yeah, those are probably going to be tougher
Those
than
are the games we have to win.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying to save Brian Kelly's job because, everybody's jumping off and saying, oh, well, he just secured his job with this Clemson win.
Yeah, well, did you hear the back and forth banter between Dabo and Brian Kelly? And it kind of made it interesting because, those guys never really played each other much at all.
No, because we played in a bowl game one time, and then we played in a national championship in 2019.
Yeah.
And that's the only 2 times I could think of ever playing Clemson since I've been alive.
Yeah, and then I was trying to think back, did Notre Dame play Clemson when he was there? Because that was when Clemson had just started getting good when he was leaving Notre Dame.
I bet you he did.
He probably did.
Yeah.
But so anyway, it just seemed like no love was lost there, and the smart aleck comments back and forth was kind of comical to see.
But he got the last laugh. Brian Kelly
got him on the last laugh, but he also got the last laugh by winning the game. That's the biggest thing,
So what happens is if you're going to shoot, fireworks and you lost, you don't have Brian Kelly come back behind you because he's going to be a little quick-witted, and he said, did he watch the second half? As they didn't score. It scored their 10 in the first half, and that was it.
So let's dive into that real quick. I know we're trying to get all of this stuff in before we're done, but let me ask you guys about this real quick, and give me your quick answers if you can. Dabo was really, to me, he was acting as though the first game really didn't mean anything. He also, to me, kind of was dissing the ACC by his comments because he was talking about week 1. It's week 1. It's week 1. He kept saying that in the press conference. It's week 1. Who cares? It's week 1. Do you believe that that's way most of these coaches are feeling now, that with the way that the college football playoff is set up, that if you can go in and dominate your conference, it really doesn't matter when you play these big teams out of conference during the regular season, because they have been getting in. They got in last year just because of having a good record in their conference and being able to win the ACC championship. Obviously, we've talked about how different it's going to be in the ACC this year. The ACC looks like they're going to be better. But how does that make you feel knowing that he kind of took it to the side and was like, it's just week one. Who cares?
I mean, what happened last year? You know?
Yeah.
They played Georgia, number 1. They lost.
Yeah.
34-3.
Yeah.
And they still made the playoff.
34
with a South Carolina loss at the end. So they're bookend by SEC losses.
Yeah.
100%.
9-3.
And then he still made the playoffs.
But let's don't get it sideways.
It was an automatic bid.
It's automatic.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
SMU was the one who
that's why he's
got
not.
the
That's why he's not hesitating. He played an SEC team, still has an 0-0 ACC record.
So there's only 2 conferences that you're referring to. Basically, it's the ACC and the Big 12, because obviously the SEC and the Big 10 are up here, right?
Right.
And there's a jump, and then the ACC, and then Big 12. The Mountain West can't say that.
No.
Because Boise's already lost one. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say who else you got, Air Force, Utah State, Colorado. So it don't really matter because, the Sun Belt or somebody else could be the group of 5 that could get the automatic bid on the last slot.
But what I'm saying, though, is how disrespectful to the ACC was that comment, because he wouldn't have made it in last year had they had beaten South Carolina but then lost to SMU. The only reason why Clemson was able to get in the playoff was because they won the conference championship, and that was their automatic bid. Yeah. So really, when you look at it, he's basically saying, yeah, we lost to a good LSU team. Who cares? We're going to win the conference. They're not going to be able to beat us. So really, he kind of still feels like he's the standard in the ACC.
And this is after Florida State had already beaten Bama.
Right.
But before Miami had beaten Notre Dame.
Correct.
Well, the only reason he went, is because Syracuse lost, or Miami lost to Syracuse last game of the regular season.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They dropped that one 42-38. So, I mean, that was the game that propelled him to the ACC championship, which he won and then made it. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not growing to be a huge fan of Dabo Swinney. The whole, stuck in the times of, traditional, not wanting to go to the NIL and just thinking that his team's better. He can do it better than everybody else. And it's just, I don't know. It's starting to grow on me where I'm not liking him too much.
I don't want to say I have more hate, but yeah, I have more hate for Florida State than I do Clemson.
Yeah. Well,
and the reason is because all this talk about, they're too good for the ACC. Florida State does that more than anybody else.
I mean, I can see why Paul wouldn't like Clemson as much. They did steal a couple of national championships from Alabama, but I mean, I know recency bias and the Florida State thing, but I would feel like as an Alabama fan, he would probably have a little more slight toward Clemson.
Alabama and Clemson, what they went through those whole times really made me not like Clemson, obviously, but with Dabo being an Alabama boy, I kind of like him on the flip side of it, and I like the way he's trying to do it. You got to change with the times. You got to make yourself relevant. So I'm not sure if it was a ploy or if it was just something that he just did off the cuff, but I will say it was disrespectful. You made a good point. The Florida State game had already happened. I'm sure he knew. The Miami game, however, had not happened yet. And so you got to know of what you got. He knows that SMU is probably going to be decent. He knows that now that Florida State might be good. He's not sure, depending on what they look like as the season goes. But he definitely has to know, because he was on the benefactor of Carson Beck at quarterback for the Georgia team that hung 34 points on his defense. So just so you know, there's some things going on in the ACC, and so you guys are pulling me towards that even more this year than ever before. So let's look at it. Everybody picked Alabama. Florida State, played way better, beat them. South Carolina and Virginia Tech, I'm not sure if anybody picked Virginia Tech. No, I don't think so. South Carolina handled business. Although I will say Virginia Tech did not look bad. There's somebody else there that if you get them at a night game at Blacksburg and you're having a rough game or you guys get behind early, it's hard to play there some. Could be something over there.
The spread was 8, and I think they covered.
Yeah, I think they did. Auburn beat Baylor. Looked pretty good. The thing that kind of concerned me with Auburn, though, when you look at Auburn, they did not throw the ball. Jackson Arnold did not throw it as much. He ran way more than he threw. And, you know, maybe that was the game plan, or maybe it was that Baylor was a good, you know, had some good defensive schemes out there that was taking them out of the passing game. But if you remember last year when he was at Oklahoma, he would more or less, if he got outside the pocket, he was running. He wasn't going to throw. And so, you know, a good win for Auburn.
So do you know who the leading rusher of the SEC is?
No.
Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, there you go.
That quarterback is the leading rusher in the SEC.
That
right
says
now.
something. So there you go. And I mean, for me, I don't love that. If I was an Auburn fan, I wouldn't love that. That my quarterback was the leading rusher. You know,
you want to talk about? I'm not saying all hope is lost, but Baylor losing to Auburn, they got to play SMU this week.
Yeah,
we're talking about 0-2 start. The Baylor coach is going to be on the hot seat. For sure.
Your old guy, your old defensive coordinator, right? Dave Aranda.
Yep.
All right, here we go. TCU, UNC. I know that we picked UNC. We thought Bill Belichick would put a better place on the map, but he didn't. And Jeff, you picked TCU. You went with Sonny Dykes and the experience of the college football game, and you were 100% right.
They destroyed them.
They took, I mean, that first drive that they had looked great. Freddie Kitchens had the play calls in, and it looked like Sonny Dykes was like, okay, this is what you're doing. All right, I got that. Okay, you're doing that. Okay, you're doing this. Okay, no more. I don't even know. I guess maybe Lopez completed some passes at practice because he didn't complete any more passes after the first quarter.
Now, at what point were we going to say that TCU is a legitimate contender for the Big 12? Did it have to be like 4-0?
No, I think they're a contender. They have to.
I haven't been thinking of them like that.
No, I mean, I don't think they're. If you're asking me, do they have the opportunity to compete in a neutral site or even a home game against? Cause, I mean, they do. It's loud there at TCU. They've played in big games. They've had some people. They've had some good teams here in the last 5-6 years.
And we'll find out in a couple of weeks. I mean, they got to play 2 top 25 teams in the next. Well, they got a cupcake game next game. Then they have SMU, and then they have Arizona State. So I mean, you're really going to find out who they are kind of
State
early.
Game. That's the one because everybody's been looking at Arizona State. They look at Iowa State. Now the Kansas State already has a loss in conference.
Yeah, I think
this is your third team that maybe, and of course, people high on Texas Tech.
Yeah, Arizona State's a pretender, though. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think they're a pretender. Wow. Yeah, everybody can jump on that wagon if you want to. Scattaboo is not there; he's gone bye-bye. But anyway, Tennessee and Syracuse. We all picked Tennessee. Georgia Tech and Colorado. Georgia Tech is going to be a team you need to watch out for. They could be one of those teams. Brent Key does a good job. What does he do good at? He's an old offensive lineman. He knows how to get those boys to block. Their quarterback, you saw him last year against Georgia. That 7 or 8 or 9 overtime game that they played against Georgia, he did phenomenal, and he played hard. He took a lot of licks in that game, but he kept being like the Energizer Bunny. He just kept coming back and coming back.
You wonder if Georgia Tech doing that to the Bulldogs kind of, with Carson Beck out, kind of put it in people's minds that Georgia's not invincible, obviously, to win in the playoffs.
And that's a key factor. When you look at a team, when they come into town, there was the Bama factor. There is that factor, and Georgia wanted to take that mantle when Saban left. They wanted to be that,
yeah.
But you're right. They became human.
Shinkin in the armor.
Yeah, they became human whenever the Carson Beck went down. So I think everybody's going to be surprised at how good the ACC is going to be. I know I am, because at first when I was talking about the ACC beginning of the year, I was talking that, they might have deserved just one team in the playoff. There's a possibility the ACC is going to send 2. And let me go ahead and say this right now. There's a possibility with the way the SEC is going, you could see teams from the ACC getting that next step up. Or if the Big Ten has a drop-off in their middle of the pack or their top group, you could see somebody from the ACC getting in there.
You're not the only one, Paul. I mean, I literally thought Alabama was going to beat the brakes off of them. I'm a Tennessee fan. I literally thought I was going to watch a dismantling down there in Tallahassee. And when after the Tennessee-Syracuse game, we go to a restaurant, have a couple drinks, some appetizers, and lo and behold, that game's there. And I'm like, yo, you see this? Like, this is a game. And that wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So to me, what's interesting is the two games that you never would have thought would have more playoff implications than this is Boise State losing and Notre Dame losing. Because now you're in a situation where Notre Dame's got to win out. They've got to be, 10-2 is going to be tough. It depends how they play at 10-2 to make it into the playoffs.
The reason why it's going to be tough is because the ACC is better this year, and they play a heavy ACC schedule.
They do.
And that's the key. Used to, they'd play the cupcake ACC schedule like Clemson did, and they always got the opportunity to play. They kept their players healthy, and that's a part of it.
So with a Notre Dame out, I'm not saying it's happening, but if it did, and you still have your two ACC teams, your one Big 12 team, your four Big 10 teams, that leaves four SEC teams.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, when we come back from the break, we're going to pick this week's games. You're listening to the Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest of Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Are you sick of the old sports talk? The vanilla opinions? The polite debates? The hosts who are afraid to say what they really think? So are we. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is bringing the house. It's the new Sports Blitz.
Weekdays, 4 to 6.
We're starting arguments, not conversations. The Sports Blitz.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taco Bell is now on DoorDash in Port St. Joe. That's right, you can enjoy craveable tacos, burritos, and more delivered right to your door. Craving a late night snack? Taco Bell in Port St. Joe has you covered. Open until 1, 7 days a week. Plus, start your day off with their delicious breakfast menu, available until 10 a.m. Taco Bell, where the craveable comes true. Taco Bell, now on DoorDash in Port St. Joe.
Go Tiger Sharks.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
The 2025 Atlanta Braves always find the will to battle back, and they're looking to close the year out strong.
Michael Harris has something to say. Belts one to deep right field and long gone.
Tonight, it's one final game between the Braves and the Chicago Cubs from historic Wrigley Field as Atlanta closes out a big road trip.
Final game of the road trip for the Braves. Pre-game 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:40. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget you can call in. You can text in at 850-215-6290 on the Red 17's phone line. We're having a great time here. We only have about 15 minutes left. We're so glad that you've joined us. You know, all of this isn't possible without the great sponsors that we have. AutoNation Ford in Panama City. If you're needing a vehicle, if you're needing service for your vehicle, if you need a part for your vehicle, give those guys a call. They can do all makes and models. Don't just think they're tied down to Ford brand. They can do more. And so just make sure you do that and tell them Paul Wilson sent you. Also, don't forget, Brandon is in the building. We call him Tennessee Brandon, but we probably need to call him Collision Center Brandon. Brandon, tell us about Recommended.
Yes, sir. So we have a collision center, also known as a body shop, located off Jinx Avenue in Panama City, Florida. That's in town. cross over the railroad tracks like you're headed toward downtown. We're right on your right. It's a big black, red, gray style building.
No orange?
No orange.
No orange.
Inside.
There is orange. I got an orange keyboard. I got an orange mug. You'll see it.
checkerboard pattern?
No. But yeah, so we're right off Jinx Avenue. Whether you've got something that you accidentally, dinged your car up in your driveway and you don't want to involve insurance, or whether somebody hits you and you're wanting to use their insurance to fix your vehicle, just come down and see me at 1329 Jinx Avenue here in Panama City, Florida. I'll take good care of you. Men, women, young, old, come by, you see me.
Alabama fans?
Alabama fans, LSU fans, Florida fans. I do make this joke, though. There are people that walk in there, and I always tell them I'm going to have to charge you extra wearing that shirt in my office. And it's typically an Alabama shirt. But we laugh.
There's a lot of fans
We
here.
laugh.
No, they
we
hit
giggle.
curbs.
We'll take care of everybody down there. Just come see me.
Awesome. Yep. Make sure you do that. Make sure you mention the Sports Blitz, and there will be a discount there for you as well. All right, guys, let's get here. We got Ole Miss and Kentucky. Jeff, who you going with?
Ole Miss.
I'm going with Ole Miss.
You know what? I'm not saying the spread is 10.5, but the spread is 10.5. You know who I would take?
Oh, yeah. I would take them anyway.
I take 21.
And I don't care if it's in Lexington.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think I'd take them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Kansas and Missouri. Who you got? Missouri.
I do have Missouri at home.
I'm going Missouri as well.
I thought somebody was going to take Kansas.
No
I want to
way.
watch Ross do it tomorrow.
I have no confidence in Kansas for anything but basketball. Michigan versus Oklahoma, probably the biggest game of the week. Jeff, who you got?
I got Michigan.
Michigan. Ooh.
I hate to do it, but I got to do it.
Brandon, what are you doing?
So one of my best friends in Tennessee, Hunter Black, is going to enjoy this one if he was listening, but I am going to pick Michigan over Oklahoma as well. I don't believe in Oklahoma at all this year, so we'll see.
Not so fast, my friends. I'm going Oklahoma. I'm believing in Mateer. He looked good. He played good. I hate to say this, Brett Venables is going to do a good job on the defensive side, and I think their offense is going to be able to score on Michigan. I think they're going to be faster. I think they're going to hit them. I think they're going to hit them hard, and I think there's going to be some chatter coming out of Oklahoma this weekend.
All right.
Hey, maybe Venables can be the next Alabama coach.
We need to move on to the next game.
Keep on going.
Vanderbilt and Virginia Tech. Jeff, who you got?
I got Virginia Tech bouncing back.
What do you think, Brandon?
I got Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I'm going Virginia Tech on that. I think they're going to do good. I don't believe in Vanderbilt at all. Baylor at SMU. Where are you going, Jeff?
Baylor is going to bounce back, and SMU is going to take this loss.
Brandon.
That's a bold prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watched that Baylor-Auburn game. I thought that was a pretty good game for the most part. Props to Auburn for being able to go all the way to Baylor and get that win. I'm still going to go SMU on this one.
Yeah, me too. SMU, their quarterback is going to do better than Jackson Dart, so you'll see him do a lot better against that Baylor defense. San Diego State and Washington State. Jeffrey, what you got?
I would like to say my answer last.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, I'll throw it out there. I'm going to go San Diego State.
I'm going Washington State on that one. I believe they're going to do something.
I'm with Brandon. I got San Diego State Aztecs.
All right, here we go. Duke and Illinois. Who you got, Jeff?
Wait, we were going to skip over Iowa State?
I didn't see that. Okay. Iowa State. Go ahead.
I got the Hawkeyes, Iowa.
Oh, you got Iowa?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Cyclones?
What do you got?
Give me the home team.
You going to Iowa State?
Yeah.
I am too.
Do you know what town their university's in?
No. Educate me. Ames.
Yeah, Ames. Yeah. So there you go. I'm going Iowa State as well.
I'm aiming for the Cyclones.
There you go.
Wow.
All right, Duke and Illinois. Let's go, Jeff. Go ahead.
I'm with you. I'm on the side.
No. We're not together.
Well,
I'm
we're
actually
not.
going with Paul. It's so
I'm
crazy.
I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence. Well, I'll tell you right now.
I'm looking to be
Taylor
sharp
Devers
either way.
yesterday, that's the only question we asked was this one game right here.
Yeah.
And he picked Duke strongly. He was like very adamant about Duke. So I'm going with Illinois.
I listened to Taylor for a little bit on this. We talked earlier in the segment, maybe on the break. Illinois would be one of those top 25 teams that at the end of the year, I don't believe is going to be a top 25 team. I don't know.
Weak schedule.
Weak schedule. I think they're ranked 12th or 14th? 11th. Okay, so almost a top 10 team.
They
right?
finished 10-2. They're going to be ranked.
Okay, well, what? Okay, yeah, if they're going to be ranked if they finish 10-2.
Yeah.
But being almost a top 10 team, going all the way to an unranked Duke, only favored by 2.5. Give me Duke.
All right. Where are you going, Jeff?
I'm going to Illinois.
Yeah, I'm going to Illinois. Brett Bielema is going to show you this year why he can coach in the Big Ten, and you're going to see it there at Illinois. All right, James Madison in Louisville. Jeff, who you got on that one?
You know what? I'll let you know that before last week, I picked the playoffs.
Right.
And I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I just didn't look at James Madison's schedule. And, I'm high on Louisville.
Yeah.
The quarterback, Miller Moss. And then the running back is like the best returning running back coming in back to the ACC. Yep. So I'm high on Louisville. I picked them for the ACC championship. But I'm going to have to scratch James Madison from the playoffs because they're going to lose to Louisville.
Yeah. So you're going Louisville. What are you going to do on that one?
Louisville.
Yeah, I'm going Louisville, too. Okay. If you'd have picked James Madison, I'd have said you're high on something else.
Well, the Dukes are going to give a fight. They're going to have a little bit of I'm not going to say speed problem. They're going to have a big problem. You know what I mean? Like the guys are bigger at Louisville.
Yeah, I believe you. All right, big game. USF and Florida. Jeff, who you got?
Okay, so just for clarification, because some people wouldn't know what USF is. Because
South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida.
Bulls,
they're the Bulls, and they did beat Boise 34-7, but they're going to lose to the Gators this week.
Okay.
And it's in Gainesville.
Yeah.
I'm going off hopes and dreams of what I want to happen, and I want South Florida to walk into Gainesville and then just beat the brakes off of Florida.
Oh, wow.
Beat the brakes?
Beat the brakes.
Oh, man.
When I say that, if you go into Gainesville and you win by 10. I think that's a good win.
That's a good win.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat him by 10, though. Even if they did win, I don't think they would make him that good.
Well,
Lagway's not that good. I think he's overrated.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you this. Give me Florida, and the reason behind giving me Florida is because Boise State is not very good. If you look at how they tackled, they didn't tackle good against South Florida. They were in the spots to make the plays. They didn't make their tackles, so they were there. So that doesn't mean that South Florida's offensive line is not that good. Their quarterback ran most of the time. I think Florida is bigger. They're going to be able to control that offensive line. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball, which is going to cause them to be one-dimensional. South Florida is going to have to throw the ball, and when they throw the ball, you'll see the difference of playing them in Boise, because Boise is more of a faster team, so they're not as big. But watch out for them Gators. I do believe Lagway's good. I believe in him. I believe that they found the secret sauce between him and Napier. They're looking good from last year's run that they made at the end of the year and starting out fast. Obviously, they played a very small school in Long Island, but still, I think they get it done against USF, even though USF had a good game against Boise.
So it's going to be weird, though, if they do pull the upset against the Gators, which I don't think they will. They'll be going up against the Hurricanes, and that's going to be a touted game. That's obviously a top 10 game for the week.
Depending on what's going on with both of those teams, there's a good chance that could be a game day game. It wouldn't surprise me because
it could be winner goes to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean it could be, or it could just be one of those games like Dabo's talking about that's not that important. But because it's out of conference. But I just still think that if you look at it, that's going to be a hard game to pick. If Florida comes in and dominates USF Saturday, then you're possibly having an undefeated Miami, an undefeated Florida coming into play. That game's at Miami, right? Isn't that
I'm talking about South Florida's playing the Hurricanes.
Oh, South Florida's playing the Hurricanes.
Actually, they are playing each other.
Yeah, Miami plays Florida, too. Yeah. I thought that's who you were saying.
No, I was playing South Florida.
Okay, yeah, they'll lose to Miami.
Florida schedule.
Wow.
Florida schedule. I got South Florida, LSU, Miami, Texas, Texas A&M.
Yeah. Oh, my God. LSU,
LSU, Miami, Texas.
LSU, Miami, Texas, 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And then they got a bye after that.
Yeah, don't forget they had the second hardest schedule. Now, after you look at it, that's probably going to change.
Well, Florida State's ranked now.
Because Florida State's ranked, and Alabama is playing against Oklahoma, and Florida doesn't play Alabama. So if you look at it, it'll change probably. Yeah. Florida's probably going to take that number one spot as having the hardest schedule.
But nobody really talks about it mid-season. We all talk about before the season.
Yeah, they won't. But I'm just saying, if you look at it, I mean, if Florida comes out of that schedule at 10-2, they deserve to be in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, they're SEC and the schedule, obviously. What's going to be interesting is, so we had a 9-3. Well, technically it was a 10-3 by the time the playoffs came around, and Clemson making the playoffs. I still think there is going to be another 3-loss team that's going to make the playoffs this year. Question is,
what conference?
What conference?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Well, we did it. Wednesday's over. Thursday will be tomorrow. We got some exciting stuff coming on. We got some Texas fans going to be in the building. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I promise you, you won't have to look at these orange shirts anymore today. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida broadcasts the biggest and best games of the week. We're your headquarters for premier matchups, huge